I'll have you guys introduce your characters too. All right, hey, so I guess we're live now. So welcome everybody. I'm Mike Merles. I'm the senior manager for the Dungeons & Dragons R&D team. Thanks for joining us for this live streaming D&D Next playtest game. You're about to see members of the Wizards R&D team playtesting materials and rules from D&D Next. This is part of our playtest program, so by continuing to watch this, you are consenting to the terms of Wizards' online playtest agreement, which you can view at www.dndnext.com. In addition, this game may contain adult language and material not suitable for all ages.
Hi, Mom.
See, I was going to say it's more like if you're over the age of 10, you may find our jokes a little juvenile.
That too.
So nonetheless, viewer discretion is advised. So I will be serving as the DM. Why don't we go around the table? Let's start with James. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your character.
I'm James Wyatt, and I write stuff. My character is Rakesh, a exiled monk of the Scarlet Brotherhood. He is tall, lanky, albino, bald, and moves with supernatural quickness.
My name is Greg Bilsland. I'm a content producer for D&D, Wizards of the Coast, obviously. And I am going to be playing Tree, a cleric of the Temple of the Radiant Flower. And I kind of have a palish complexion because I'm a fruitarian. I only eat fruit, so I don't get a lot of protein.
Sorry, is this your character or you?
Both, actually. Yeah, I'm projecting. And yeah, that's pretty much my character.
Oh, I'm next.
You're next. You're next.
I'm Rodney Thompson. I am a designer on Dungeons & Dragons, and I am playing Wriggle Lightfinger, a halfling rogue. Wriggle is a riverboat captain who unfortunately lost his riverboat in a tragic river sailing and trading accident. And as a result of losing my riverboat, I have become an adventurer.
What's the physical characters, the obvious physical trait that makes it very hard for people to look at you and not be horrified? I've got like albino
right, yes.
and like freakishly unhealthy looking guys. So what's yours?
Mine is, let's see here. I have I'm covered in sailor's tattoos.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, but that's not necessarily
There's not necessarily like weird and off-putting, but it's a little different for halflings.
Okay.
Okay, I am Peter Lee. I am a designer and a developer on D&D, and I am playing ABR Lightfinger, the adopted human brother of Wriggle over there, and a defining physical thing. I'm missing my right eyebrow.
That's what you picked, huh?
So what class is it?
I'm a human fighter.
So human fighter, halfling rogue.
Halfling rogue.
Greg, what are you playing? A cleric?
Cleric, yeah.
Human cleric? And then you're playing monk. Okay, cool. So, we don't have a wizard. Oh, wow. No wizard. Good.
No wizard.
All right,
I have been known to spell cast a bit, though.
All right.
All right,
CAST.
Yeah, I get it. You spell cast. It's going to be that kind of podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, I didn't start it.
That's true.
So the four of you have been dispatched to the ruined town of Highport, seized several years ago by a horde of rampaging humanoids in the Pomarge. You have been sent here on a quest to liberate / uncover the den of a group of slavers, the Slave Lords. Not surprisingly, because this is the slave pits of the Undercity adventure. A group of slavers, the Slave Lords. Whoa.
Time travel.
That won't be disconcerting at all.
Apparently, there's another videotape playtest taking place right down the other end of the table. So you have been dispatched to Highport. You have been able to sneak into the city under the cover of claiming to be in search of slaves to purchase. With your interesting physical characteristics, you have had a surprisingly easy time making your way past the entryway into the city, and through speaking with a few different groups in town and scouting about, you've identified what was once a temple before Highport was conquered by the humanoid hordes that serves as the headquarters for the slaving operation. Undoubtedly, this place is your target. Your goal here is to determine that yes, indeed, this is the location of the slavers' headquarters in Highport, find out any information you can about the slavers, and liberate what slaves you can. The slavers have been hitting the coast up and down, a variety of different spots. Your patron believes that this is not their headquarters, it is merely an outpost, but hopefully you can find information here that leads to their true hidden secret lair somewhere
In
Not too
A4.
far. Yeah, in A4, right? The fourth module. You have a feeling you may have to do this a couple times. So you have gathered some info. Actually, no. Why don't you guys go ahead? All of you make charisma checks. Let's see figure out what kind of information you've turned up about this place.
So this is a full-on city. We can go to taverns and kind of mingle
You
about.
can. The trick is, it's a city populated by a variety of different evil humanoid groups, orcs, hobgoblins. The town has been divided into different quarters. There's like a hobgoblin quarter. There's also bugbears and goblins over there. There's an orc quarter. When the humanoid armies invaded and took over the city, it used to be a human city. The different chieftains split the city up into different areas for their tribes. So while you can walk around, it's not exactly easy, and the longer you stay here, you get the sense the more dangerous it will become for you. Most humans who come here come in, do their business, and leave as quickly as they can. So if you try to linger too long, that you may end up in trouble. Again, not because anyone would be suspicious of you, just because you have a lot of violent humanoids. They get bored. You've already seen a number of fights in the streets. The city, when it was sacked, a lot of buildings were burned down and destroyed. A lot of them are still in ruins. The humanoids haven't really put much effort into it, rebuilding. You do note, though, that the temple that you that has been pointed out as the slavers' headquarters in town looks like it has been refurbished a bit. And you did note along patrolling the grounds, amongst the orcs and half-orcs, there have been a number of human patrols, which stands out quite a bit. And for humans to be here unmolested, there must be some powerful force behind them keeping them safe, or some group that the humanoids have allied with.
Okay.
So anyways, charisma checks, what did you guys all get?
11.
Okay. Greg?
Looks like 14.
14?
Unfortunately, I have a bad case of land sickness. I got a 7.
7, okay.
My freakish eyebrow scares people off, and I have a 3.
Okay. So far in town, you really haven't made too many contacts. Though with an 11 to 14, you've had some of the goblin servants you've had to deal with. You've gotten a little bit of information out of them so far. So the first thing you know is that there are orcs and half-orcs, a lot of half-orcs actually, that are serving as the guards here. There have also been rumors of a number of murders at the temple. There's been sounds of not fights, but you've heard rumors of bodies being discovered. So it hasn't been any pitched battles, but there's been a few of the orcs that have been tasked with guard duty here have gone missing.
So even though this is like a humanoid city, is that weird at all for there to be?
It's strange in that normally, like, if two orcs hit each other, they just fight.
Right.
Like, there's a rumble between the hobgoblins and the orcs. There's just an outright fight.
Right. There's not usually a lot of back alley.
Yeah,
murders
for
and
there to
stuff
be
like that.
something like that, like someone found with like their throat slit or someone just going missing, that's a little strange. Mainly because amongst these, it's basically a military camp, especially amongst the orcs. Killing someone in such a manner would be very cowardly. It wouldn't be a way to move up in the ranks. If you're going to murder someone, it's probably so you can gain prestige. So that's proven somewhat strange. Let's see. Other than that, it does confirm your suspicion that this is the headquarters of the slavers in town, and that's the only place you know of. And you got a 14, right? Mm-hmm. The other piece of information you learned is that it wasn't really clear what deity this temple was dedicated to. In the maps of Highport that you have with you from before the attack, this temple is marked on the map, but it isn't noted as being dedicated to any particular deity. It's just noted as a temple. And actually, if anyone wants to make an intelligence check for history or anything like that, if you have appropriate lore.
Would lore apply?
Religious lore or anything about history would be
Cultural lore?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Ooh, I got some cultural lore.
I got a raw 19.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that is.
With my plus 10 from my lore, I got a 12.
At least know a little bit.
Yeah, my land sickness is still kicking in, but I end up with a 15 thanks to cultural lore.
Anyone beat the 19?
With my plus 10 and this 20, I have a 30.
Oh, okay. Wow. So with a 30, you actually have heard a specific story about this. So in Highport, there are always rumors of a strange cult that the city did not mess with, primarily out of a sense of fear. That Highport was never like it's a big city, kind of a rough and tumble place like any. It's hard for a city to be like absolutely good. You have enough business coming through. There's always gonna be a shady side to the city. That this was like basically the most suspicious temple in town. It wasn't dedicated to any specific god, and the rumor was it was actually dedicated to some sort of assassin cult. And the story goes with your 30, you've actually specifically heard about this, was that the assassins were known for their ability to steal the appearance of other creatures and use that to get closer to their victim. Supposedly, the assassin cult was allowed to remain in town because they had sworn to never do business within 100 miles of the city or target anyone with ties to the city. So this is essentially a small, safe sanctuary for them. And the humanoids seem a little bit nervous about the place. I mean, other than the fact that it looks like the human slavers are living here, they weren't really eager to mess with this place. But they did end up storming it and killing many of the occupants.
I let the others know.
But what happened to them? They just disappeared?
Well, they're still just sort of around, right?
But the temple's been reclaimed
Yep.
or is being used by the slavers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the temple, it looks like someone has tried, when the areas where it was damaged, it has been rebuilt. Though there was a fire that swept through part of the city, that probably damaged part of it.
All we have to do is convince the assassin cult to let us in, and then we can gain free entry to the temple.
Your plan is
Well-
weird. So are you.
What does the temple look like?
So the temple is, it's on top of a low hill. There was once an outlying wall around it, but that outlying wall has been collapsed in several spots, presumably where the orc invaders knocked their way through. Those walls have not been repaired. The hill is not too high. It's not a steep hill by any means, but there's an overgrown, what's probably once a grassy lawn with a few trees, now overgrown and completely untended. The building itself at the top is stone. It's roughly square. There's kind of like the main path that approaches it. There's two outlying like arms of the building that form a sort of courtyard. So it's kind of U-shaped, but the bottom of the U is significantly thicker, longer, and bigger than the two small. You suspect that those two outlying things might just be in large individual rooms. So it's kind of U-shaped with the bottom of the U being the main entrance. Also, one other thing that you guys have learned, because you got a 30 on your result, right? There was, you suspect there's probably some sort of secret entrance into this place, because one of the stories about this place was no one ever saw any of the members of the cult coming and going from there was a couple entrances, obvious entrances. There were servants who came and went, and the cult members were never seen to come and go. Now, some people said it was simply because they always moved in disguise, but there's another rumor that there was some sort of secret exit or entrance that they would use.
So, Mike, from my background, I've got the salt of the earth trait, which lets me basically blend in with common folk. Is that something I could use in this city? I mean, are there enough
You could, but you'd probably have to pose as a slave.
as a slave?
Yeah.
Oh.
If it's a halfling just walking around talking to people, it would be kind of like. But if you were to just look like, oh, I'm someone's servant, or I'm indentured to somebody, or I was a captive.
Okay,
you could easily pull
I
it
actually think I could probably pull that off. I'm pretty charismatic, so.
Especially amongst the goblins, the slaves have the goblins are essentially second-class citizens for the hobgoblins.
Okay.
So you could mingle with them.
Okay.
Do you speak Goblin?
No, I don't. But I don't.
Oh, well, I was thinking you could pull yourself off as a Goblin. But
Oh yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, I don't.
I think that was an insult that just went right over his head.
Nope.
Well, if he looked like a goblin, that would make him the third weirdest looking person. So I don't think it's so bad.
So here's what I'm thinking. Basically, I want to, as we're sort of, taking the temperature of the city, I want to pose as a slave and sort of ingratiate myself with any beggars or street vendors or anybody that might be out on the streets in the area around the temple. Ingratiate myself with them and see if I can find this secret entrance by just sort of sifting through rumors oh yeah, I saw this guy go into an alley and he vanished or whatever I can
So
find like that.
That's probably going to take you about a day of to scout out the area, if you're ready to talk to. What does everyone else want to do during that day? And lying low is a perfectly fine answer if you don't want to go out and do anything weird. Attacking the main citadel would be a test of how quickly I can kill you. Okay, why not?
Pick fights with everybody in the city.
I pick a fight with him, the monk.
That would be a bad idea. I would like to, as stealthily as I can, which is pretty stealthily, get as much of a survey of the building outside as I can.
Sure.
Figure out where all the visible entrances are, windows, if I can see movement inside.
Got it.
Windows that people might be looking out of or not, so that we basically finding the best entrance of what's there if I can.
All right, I'm going to resolve your 2 actions first, and I'll let you guys know what you want to do. All right, so go ahead and give me a charisma check, and tell me your result.
Okay. Aha, okay. So I rolled a natural 1, but as a halfling, I'm lucky, so I get to re-roll that.
You are lucky. Look at that.
Oh, that's even
good roll.
not great. So that I'm rocking a whopping 8 right now on that charisma check.
Okay. So you're kind of hanging around like the base of the hill, talking to some of the goblins and stuff. The one thing that gets in your way, you quickly figure out. The goblins are not allowed to loiter for long here, or
okay.
anyone is.
Sure.
There are orcs and occasionally humans walking in patrols. The orcs kind of just growl at you, but the humans make a point of coming over and trying to break up. Like anyone who's hanging around for long, the humans come over and
okay.
shoo along.
Interesting.
And it seems like clearly the humans are in charge. There aren't too many of them, and it's about maybe 1 patrol every like couple hours is human. It's like 2 or 3 guys. The one thing is they're wearing fairly nice armor. They're wearing chainmail as opposed to like maybe a ring mail you'd expect for just a regular guy. And they seem a little bit on edge. So let's see. So with it, and then otherwise, yeah, you talk to some of the goblins and stuff. You can only speak common, so about half of them don't even know what you're talking
Right.
about. About the remaining, like maybe the quarter of the total group, just give you a hard time because they think you're a slave and they think they can push you around.
Sure.
The other quarter, they complain a lot about all the patrols, and this is a really terrible place to hang out, that these are awful humans, why is Tarashmak allowing them to stay in the city? This is an insult. The humanoids of the Pomar should not conquer this human city to allow humans to come back. So there's kind of some resentment against the slavers and what they're doing, but you're not able to get more information beyond that.
Okay.
Why don't you give me a dexterity check as you're hiding around? Let's see if you roll a 1.
30.
Okay, wow. So you walk inside and solve the adventure. No, so okay. So you notice actually the hardest part of trying to sneak up is going to be getting up close because there's the large courtyard. But as you're about to approach, you see there's like a small group of goblins hanging around the base of the hill, and it looks like one of them. It actually looks like your friend, the halfling, Wriggle. He's talking to them, and there's a human patrol, and they actually stop and go to hassle the goblins, and that gives you the perfect opening to dart in, move through the grass, dart from tree to tree, and you're able to get very close. You notice first right off the bat that this temple, it looks like it may have been fortified in its original construction. If you picture the U, the bottom half of the U is made of stone, and there are like no windows. It's almost like it's kind of off-putting. Like the architecture here screams like I don't know, like late 1930s, like fascist Italy. Like it's just very utilitarian, but also very off-putting, just thick stone. You can see why maybe the humanoids would have had trouble taking it because it almost does look like a little fortified outpost. The U sections though look a little bit more open. Both of them look like they have gardens. For example, the one on the left side, it looks like there's actually an open courtyard. There's no roof for much of it, and then there's a small cottage or a small chamber on the north end of it, and north is where the spokes of the U point up to the north. There's a door into that little cottage. There's the main gate, which is between the arms of the U. There's also on the western side, about 2/3 of the way up, like just where like the U's arm goes up, which is pretty fun. Remember, the bottom is very thick. So you have like your thick bottom here and 2 small arms coming up. There's double doors there. That the doors are open, and you can hear what sounds like orcs talking. Looks like just a group of them chatting, passing the time. On the eastern upward part of the U, that's actually made of wood, and it looks like it's in bad shape. And there are a couple windows on the eastern side that look like they open up into a hallway. The main gate is there's not a door, rather there's a portcullis. There's a portcullis that's been dropped. There's an entryway and a second portcullis. And peering around, you can see inside there's a number of orcs that look like they're on guard duty. There's a couple tables. They're just sitting there chatting amongst themselves. Do you speak Orcish?
I do not.
Okay, so you can't understand
Why
what
would
they're
I
saying.
learn such a vile tongue?
Exactly, that's the attitude. There is though this weird contraption you can like make out. It looks like a giant cart, like a mantlet that has wheels, and there's a steel pipe sticking out, like someone's bored it through the middle of the mantlet. If you're a modern person, you think, oh, that looks like some sort of like artillery piece or something. And it's facing, that pipe is like facing toward the entrance. So you can't really see what's behind the mantlet. There is an orc, though. It looks like he's doing something behind it. Like, hear him kind of grunting and swearing in orcish, and he's got some tools out. Like, he's working on something behind it. Why don't you also give me a wisdom check?
That's a natural one. A 3.
Okay.
I'm contagious.
So
But
now,
your luck is not.
you don't notice any secret doors or anything like that, but you do see that there were a couple times you may played a little more conservatively than you otherwise would, because the orcs seem like very nervous. Like there's watchful, like if they're well trained and alert. These guys aren't that. They're orcs. They're kind of chaotic. They're not really like the best disciplined troops, but they just seem on edge. Like when you're watching the orcs in like the main entrance, there's a couple times when like one orc bumps into another one and startles him, and that orc turns around and almost punches the other guy. And then they actually get into a bit of a shoving match. They seem tense.
Like they're expecting an attack or something?
It's hard to say. It's if they're expecting an attack, you think they'd be more watchful. This is
Right.
more like they're suspicious of each other. They're always kind of looking over their shoulder at each other. And now orcs don't get along very well, but this is not quite what you've seen before amongst orcs. There's something else at work here. Do you want to try to go in?
No,
Okay.
not at this time.
Because the door to that little cottage that you don't see any guards there, but there are no windows there. The other two are clearly guarded. The western entrance, you can hear orcs, but obviously there's the door, and then the main entrance, there's plenty of orcs in the main chamber.
I'll sneak into the cottage when I have backup.
Okay. Okay, and I think I'm trying to think if there's any other pertinent details you would have noticed. No, because otherwise, sorry. So that's what you've seen from the ground.
Okay. Point of clarification. The human patrols that are going around and I saw harassing them, are they coming out of this temple?
They keep coming. It looks like they come out of the main gate.
Okay. So they are part of the slaver stronghold here, not a
Yeah.
different force in the city.
But you have not seen any of them they're not talking to the orcs. The orcs seem very deferential to them.
And your sense was that they seem to be the ones who are enforcing the laws of the city the most?
I guess we'll find out when I talk to you later tonight.
You haven't seen humans anywhere else. Now, you have seen a couple of humans. Like there was ones like you guys watched the retinue of a clearly evil spellcaster carried on a litter by a group of zombies. But that was like the kind of human you're seeing is like, okay, it's some sort of evil spellcaster here, probably doing business or striking an alliance. There was another time you saw a group of human mercenaries. It looked like they may have been from the Bandit Kingdoms. The banner they had was a bloody hand impaled with a spike. And you can make intelligence checks.
Good place all around.
Oh, yeah.
Really safe here.
Yeah.
They seem like rough customers. So you haven't seen just like a merchant hanging around. Like it's been, there was like one merchant you saw, and he had a retinue of like 15 guards. And these guys look pretty rough. They were barbarians from the Northlands. Like they were ready for a fight. So having humans walking around enforcing order, that's odd. And especially the way the orcs kind of being deferential to them, that's odd too.
All right, my work here is done.
All right, as you're leaving, go ahead and give me one last wisdom check. Throw a complication.
19.
You notice as you're getting ready to leave, you come across a bush and you almost stumble over the body of an orc that someone has stashed beneath a bush up against the wall. It looks like the orc's had his throat slit. And he is missing all of his weapons, and looks like someone rather hastily took off his armor.
Wriggle.
What? Then don't look at me. I'm too busy getting bossed around by goblins, apparently.
What are you doing in all that armor?
Just walk back with a giant arm load. Hey, guys.
Is there a purse on him?
Yes, but it has been opened.
Okay. Mugging gone wrong, clearly. I've been watching too many crime shows on TV.
Obviously.
The throat is slit. You're a monk, right?
Yeah.
And you're from the Scarlet Brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
Whoever slit his throat knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
This wasn't like just someone with a kitchen knife hacking away and hoping for the best. This was someone who they knew what they were doing when they killed this orc. Minimum of fuss and muss.
And took his armor and weapons, so presumably is trying to pass as an orc inside the building, which is why they're all suspicious of each other. And he's a doppelganger, so he can change his appearance to look like an orc.
Oh, we've jumped right to doppelganger, have we?
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
The assassin cult who take the identities of others, steal the appearance of others to get close to the victim.
In his defense, I don't think I've been exactly being coy.
I just think James is paranoid, terrified of doppelgangers.
It actually turns out they're all Areneas, or
Right, yeah,
ogre
okay.
mages, right? Actually,
There
they could. They're all ogre mages.
All right.
So when we
sorry.
regroup, I will share all that
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, I'll have information to share when we group as well.
All right. I hereby declare you regrouped unless you want to charge in and attack the orcs.
Were you guys going to do anything special?
Oh, yeah. What are you guys going to do?
I spend the day wandering around trying to buy fruit and can't find anywhere in the city. Get shanked a few times that I heal up and then reconvene.
No, actually, you encounter the opposite. The orcs they're all. Fruitarianism is a big thing. It's the
My
latest fad.
people!
Yeah. It's too bad
I
they
come
can't.
back with all the orcs and I'm like, look, I made friends.
I got to beat up by goblins.
All right, no, but you do get an ass beating from the orcs.
I'd like to look around near the temple for any buildings that might serve as that secondary secret entrance. So something that might maybe a bar that is patroned by more humans than I would expect.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check or wisdom check, whichever one you want.
That would be a 9 for my intelligence check.
Okay. You kind of scout around. You do find there's a couple empty buildings around here, half ruined. Look like in the attack. But yeah, oddly enough, like this area around here, it doesn't look like anyone's in a rush to inhabit it. I said there's some goblins that kind of hang around here. It seems like this is kind of where they go. Like if they're sent off on errands, like this is where they can kind of go and malinger for a bit because the orcs, hobgoblins don't really hang around here much. But otherwise, you don't see any signs of like secret entrances and stuff. And observing, you don't see any humans other than the guards you may catch a glimpse of occasionally patrolling around the temple. But it's mainly goblins hanging around out here.
Are any of the buildings more fortified than I would suspect?
No, most of them, like I said, they're in bad repair. Even compared to the rest of the town, because since it doesn't look like anyone's tried to move in here, no one's made any attempt to clean any of them up.
Okay. Then I will regroup with the others.
It's about time you got here.
I went for a long walk.
Well, I was busy getting rejected by goblin beggars who did not appreciate my social overtures. But I did learn that the humans that are here appear to be sort of enforcing the law, which is weird. I suspect they might be mercenaries or something like that.
It's the rightful place of humans to enforce the law.
Well, it's become that kind of game, has it? All right, we're jumping right in.
Wait, no, sorry, I've rejected that philosophy.
That's right. Your ex-Scarlet Brotherhood. That's important.
I keep trying to remind myself of that, but
Right.
old habits die hard.
All right.
Yeah, we halflings don't agree with that. Yes, I'm
That's
6 feet tall.
You are the tallest halfling I've ever seen.
the Lightfinger clan is very accepting
Yes,
of
yes.
different people.
Yes.
So, but anyways, so it lends me to think that given the way that the humans are sort of in a position of power here, we might be able, and given that we have a human and human-like heavy party, it might be worth our while to try and steal some uniforms and use those as our means of getting in the temple, because they're obviously respected / feared here, and you guys all fit the human bill. So, and I can be your manservant or halfling servant or whatever. I don't know.
You kind of look like a goblin.
Just put me in a chest and I'll
Tattooed
sleep there.
goblin.
Yeah. Anyways, that would be my suggestion.
I got stabbed 7 times today.
Only 7. That's a new record.
That's a new low for you.
It is. It
The
is.
time where the city of pacifists, they kick the crap out of you.
I stabbed him 3 times yesterday, right? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Sounds like the beginnings of a plan.
That's exactly what it is. It's
I
the
don't see how
beginnings of a
this.
plan.
I don't see how this plan can have any drawbacks.
Otherwise, it's scaling the walls, and I don't think that sounds like a good idea.
I had no luck finding a second entrance.
What about you?
I found a number of entrances into the actual building. The little cottage in the garden area seems like it might be a point of access, or there's windows into a hallway along there.
Is that the
That's
pla-
along the east side.
Along the east side.
and that was the place that sounded like it was in really bad repair.
Yeah.
Once we get the uniforms, we could sneak in that way so that we're less conspicuous, and then once we're in, we can just come out.
Right.
Yeah, might have to talk our way past fewer people.
So,
Yeah.
and we have to acquire the uniforms,
Right.
which.
I've been known to acquire things.
How
I'm-
large are the groups of humans?
I'm a
that are
halfling that knows how to get
There's three.
things.
Three?
It's always three, yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind of ideal. Ideal.
Isn't it?
We will not be the only ones wearing fake uniforms. Because I found a murdered orc whose uniform, armor, and weapons have been taken.
But it was an orc's uniform, not
yes,
one of
right.
the human. Okay. Yeah, nothing we can do about that.
What can possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Are all the orcs in groups of 3 as well, typically? No, just the humans?
Yeah, the humans moved in groups of 3. The orcs, it just seemed like whatever orcs they could just pick. Sometimes it was 5, sometimes it was 7, sometimes it was 4.
Are you aware of any significance of the number 3 in the
Well-
worship of this temple of old, or
Not
the
not
assassin cult or
necessarily
anything?
that, but if you are worried about doppelgangers, a group of 3 is more likely to get you not shanked than a group of 2.
And I've heard doppelgangers travel in threes.
You're just making that up.
I've spent extensive time studying the trees, and they tell me this.
You're just fueling the fires of his doppelganger paranoia. You just like make up folk tales about doppelgangers
There's
and
3 of
scaring
us
them.
as well.
Are you saying that you're a doppelganger?
I think that's what he's saying.
Oh my god.
Shall we go for 8?
It is possible that we're actually all doppelgangers.
That's the twist.
Mike has put us against each other. Okay, anyways. So. All right, so, yes, thank you. So, you know, I saw the patrols come by. They come by every couple of hours, right? If we wait till after nightfall, did I come across anywhere that I think might be a good ambush spot?
There's plenty. It kind of depends on how aggressive the patrol is. Anywhere
the
along
city?
the walls.
Well,
the,
right. The whole city is a great ambush spot.
There are a number of spots that the walls have like collapsed and been punched in by the attackers. That would probably, from what your assessment, be the best place.
It seems likely that a patrol might go by there just to make sure no one's come through. Okay.
Yeah.
I make that recommendation to you guys then.
All we have to do is mingle as a group, and they will come over.
That's true. They were breaking up. So, like, if you 3 are just sort of hanging out, I can lurk in the shadows and do what I do best:
Just run for.
run away, leave you to your horrible fate. That's what I do best. Anyhow, yeah. So, I mean,
Roll to loiter.
yes.
Yeah. Is that the plan?
I think so.
That's a fantastic plan. Nothing can go wrong.
I'm happy to be a part of it.
If possible, let's do it a distance away so any sound of combat won't be heard by other individuals.
Yeah, you do know when Rakesh,
Rakesh.
if you're on the southern end, it looks like the stone walls are pretty thick there. Unless someone starts screaming really loudly. And also, I mean, at night, when you've been here for one night, there have been like yells and cries. It doesn't seem to affect anyone because it's not like they have an organized police force. It's more.
Well, except for
every man
the
himself.
humans, right?
Yeah, but there's only been 3 of them, and it's only been right around the.
Okay.
It seems to me that the humans are more concerned about preserving their place than about preserving order in the city overall.
Right.
They don't want goblins to gather together and start plotting against them, but they don't care if orcs kill each other in the street.
Right.
All right, so are you going to head over there after nightfall?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to do this in the daylight,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, okay.
As long as there's enough ambient light to function.
Well, you guys could have like a torch or something, right?
I
As
can
long
just
as
cast, I can cast light.
All right, good.
sure. Well, maybe something a little less conspicuous. There.
Look at the shining holy power!
You cast light on one
Well,
of
we
your
are trying to
apples.
gather some attention, so it can just be
I think.
Some attention.
Yeah, I think less than that. would
talking
work.
really loud. My, this sure is a nice city.
Right.
It would be unfortunate if any guards came by.
All right. So you three are gonna hang out with like a torch or something and just basically be loitering, and then I'm going to be in the shadows nearby. If I can, you said there's like holes in the walls. So
Yeah, it's basically areas where the walls got
they're
smashed in. So guys,
So ostensibly though, like there are still parts of the wall that are standing.
Yeah.
So if you guys can basically linger on the inside of the walls near one of those, I can just like hide right around the backside of a portion of the wall. Right?
Yep.
That seem reasonable? All right, and that's what I'm going to do.
all right. So
I think Rakesh should be the one holding the torch because you are the one least likely to need to pull weapons.
Oh, that's true. But I'm going to want both hands free when we start fighting.
Well,
That's why you threw the torch at them.
or hold it in your mouth, like
Arr.
what's his name from One Piece?
That's right.
Oh, that was a sword, but
or we just light Greg on fire.
I have a spell I can use. Just saying.
Yeah.
all right. So you're hiding,
Yes.
and the three of you are loitering, and James, your character, Rakesh, is carrying the torch.
Yes.
All right. So you start loitering, and time passes.
Like, what do you do when you loiter? Does anybody know?
I'm just gonna mill around until I figure out how to loiter.
This is true high
Walking,
adventure,
we're
by
kind
the
of
way.
standing awkwardly.
Yeah,
occasionally
I
shuffling on our
lean
feet.
against the wall in very studied, nonchalant pose.
This is really scintillating theater. I'm glad our audience is getting to hear all about our loitering.
We're now in real time going to go through now. So so this plan felt amazing at
Do with
first,
my
right?
hands.
The three of you are like hanging out, you're hiding. When you first start out, you're like ready to go. You're waiting for that patrol.
Yeah.
Then the first hour goes by and nothing has happened yet. And then the second,
Loitering is really boring.
the third. So what I'd like you all to do is make Constitution checks.
Oh, we're gonna do that, huh?
Boy.
I'm not a Viking there. I got 17.
Okay. Anyone roll a natural one?
I got a 20.
Okay. Everyone beat like 5 or 10.
Yeah. No, I beat a 5. I didn't beat a 10.
Okay. Everyone else beat 10.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of fiber in that for.
Yeah. So try as you might, it does start getting boring. Your attention starts to wander. You actually takes like to just sit because you've been there for hours. You've been up all day wandering around. You've been tense. You start taking turns sitting down and waiting. Like, when is this patrol going to show up? Till finally, after 4 hours,
Wow.
a group of 5 orcs comes around the corner.
Quick, everyone! Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you didn't completely blow your check. So you were sitting down when this happened. So you're not asleep. You know, no one is like, oh, okay, let's go. And I was figuring if you got like a 1 or something ridiculous, you're going to fall asleep. But you are surprised. So basically, when this happens, Tree is sitting down, not really paying any attention, spacing out. Everyone else is still like ready to go. You're hiding. And the two of you are out when the 5 orcs kind of come into, you know, it's starry light out and stuff. There's not many lights in town because most of the creatures in town have dark vision. And they say something in Orcish. Does anyone speak here who speak Orcish? Nobody speaks Orcish? Of course. So they start, it just sounds
Speak
like,
a civilized tongue.
they start jabbering at you. And one says in common, like, you know, halt, what business you be here for? And they start coming to you very warily. They all have spears out. The one talking to you has a sword out. They start making their way toward the wall. They're really focused on the two of you as they start coming closer. You were probably like maybe half asleep, so you're kind of starting like, what's going on as they approach.
Pretty.
And they don't even seem like they've been trying to look for trouble, so
Okay.
they're not even trying to like figure out that you were there. And as they come across the threshold of the wall, they kind of look up and down the street, and they kind of smile and say, "Tax for walking through area. Everything you're carrying, humans." They start closing in on you. What do you wish to do?
Question first. Did the orcs that I saw in the building, were they wearing any kind of uniform or just their...
They're just wearing like their armor and stuff like the hordes.
And these guys, same thing?
Same dress, yeah.
There will be no tax paid this night. Unless it is one of blood.
He looks like
Did you just tell them to beat us up? That's really what it sounds like.
he actually. That's maybe a little more flowery than he can. Yeah, with a 2, he's like. And he just kind of like is like, what? Like he's completely like does not know quite what the heck you just said to him. Like he's trying to process it. The other four are just kind of stop because he is stopped, and he looks at you and snarls. And you're not sure if he's just angry that you're here or angry that maybe you've like implied he's stupid because he maybe used like a metaphor of some sort. Well, let's go ahead and roll for initiative because it looks
Okay,
like they
good.
want to rumble. And remember, you're hidden, so
Yeah.
you're actually. Why don't you just take disadvantage on your roll because.
Pretty sure.
Because you're groggy.
All right. Did everyone beat a 3?
Yes.
No. What did you get?
0.
Okay.
Wow. You were half asleep.
23.
23 for Rakesh.
I couldn't find any coffee.
Wriggle
15. Because you only drink
and Idiar.
you only drink
8.
organic
Eat
coffee.
the raw beans.
All right, so Rakesh, the orcs are about 20 or so feet away from you. They've just moved on the other side of the wall, like your side of the wall. There's 5 of them. They're moving in kind of a clump. They're all kind of close together. What do you wish to do?
Move up to the one who was looking at me dumbfounded.
Yeah, he was the one in front with the
Put
sword.
the heel of my hand into his face.
Okay,
And then a fist into whatever I can reach.
Oh, we're fighting!
Oh.
So the black one will have no ability modifier and the damage. Those are likely both going to hit. 25 and 23.
You hit easily. He's just wearing
My dice
studded
are
armor.
on fire.
Yay, Rakesh! Good job!
11 damage from the 2 hits.
All right, so your first hit, he doubles, your heel goes into his face, he staggers back, and your second blow drives into his midsection. He crumples over to the ground unconscious, leaving 4. So Wriggle, you are hidden.
Right. And how far am I away from these guys?
You're like about 10 feet. The hole in the wall is not enormous, so.
Okay, so I'm unfortunately pretty slow, so what I'm going to do is I will move up from behind the wall and rush towards the group of orcs, and I'm going to actually have to use my my cunning action to rush, basically. So I double move up, but then I'm going to come up to. Did he take care of his?
He took care of one. There's 4
Okay.
left.
All right. Then I will run up to one of the ones that is sort of on the edges and basically attack him with 2 short swords.
All right, stabble away.
Okay.
Got orc blood on my hand.
Alrighty.
It stands out because you're albino. It's very.
Actually, is there one that is next to James?
They're all like clumped together.
Okay.
So he's like
All right. Okay. Cool.
trying to get a snack attack.
I am trying to get snack attack. Okay, that's probably going to miss.
That's another
but-
one re-rolled into a 3.
Yes, I've done that twice now. Okay, so that is a 10 versus AC.
That will miss. His AC is 13. He's wearing studded.
All right, and then like a 25.
Oh, that'll hit easily.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do 14 points of damage.
All right, so the orc next to you suddenly has a short sword sticking point first out of his chest. And he looks down, his eyes cross, and he falls to the ground, leaving 3 orcs. Anything else, or is that?
No, that's it.
All right, so that brings us to Idiar. So there's now 3 orcs. They're all kind of clustered around, and now you can see your Wriggle springs in the shadows and drops another one. What do you wish to do?
I'll move up next to one of them, and I will swing with my longsword.
All right, go for it.
And that is only an 11.
All right, you swing, and this orc seems to be shocked into awareness by the sudden attack and brings his spear up to block your attack.
I'm going to action surge at this
Okay.
point and swing again, trying to see if I can get under his weapon, and I
Attaboy.
crit.
Attaboy.
So, what is the crit roll right now? An additional die?
Initial die.
So that is 14 points of damage. I'm sorry, I lied. 12 points of damage.
All right, so he blocks your attack. What kind of weapon do you have?
Longsword.
All right, so you swing your sword. He blocks with his spear, but then you're quickly able to turn, twist, and slash him again right across the guts, and he collapses to the ground, disemboweled. That leaves 2 orcs who
Maybe a
now
pleasant day.
counterattack. So there's the 3 of you up front. One of them's going to step forward, and actually, no, let's see. These guys are not. I'm going to arbitrarily have them make some a wisdom save. Oh yeah, they turn, scream, and try to run away. So the
Shit.
all 3 of you, I'm going to give opportunity attacks to each of you.
Oh, that's even
Because
better.
they're all kind of clumped together, so they're going to provoke from all of you. Make your attacks in order, though, because it is going to, like, if you all attack the same one, or so why don't we just start with James, make your first attack, and then we'll just go around the table.
I'm sorry, I want to check whether I can use Flurry of Blows when I'm not using an action. I think the answer is no. No. That's a crit.
Okay. Let's get them all out of the way of the Orc Patrol.
14.
Wow.
Okay, the first one tries to turn, and you just reach around and do the moving neck snap on him, and he falls to the ground.
Nice.
Next up.
I guess that'd be me. All right, slash it in with my short sword, but I'm gonna miss.
And while he's leaping over Wriggle, I will try and stab him, and I get a 24
That will hit.
for only 9 damage.
Oh, so you deal him a grievous blow, and he stumbles away from you, but he's still up as he turns and runs back toward the temple.
And that's the last one.
Yes, exactly. He's now 60 feet away from you, and it is Tree's turn. He didn't just panic. He just ran in a straight line back toward the temple.
Sure.
60 feet. That is too far for Sacred Flame.
And remember, you haven't moved yet either, so.
Yes. So.
I don't know. Sacred Flame might be a little flashy too.
Just this glowing.
Although at this point, subtlety might be a lost cause.
I think the only way I'm gonna stop him is possibly using. By the power of the radiant flower, I summon plants. Are there vines around?
Oh, yeah, there's a really overgrown, grass and everything around
So I'll use plant growth, which has a range of 150 feet.
Okay.
All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on the point become thick and overgrown.
Okay.
A creature moving through the area must spend 15 extra feet of movement for every 5 feet.
Okay.
So I'll do that
wow.
up basically ahead of him so that to continue toward the temple, he's going to have to go.
Okay, so he's running in a panic, and suddenly the overgrown weeds and grass in front of him zoom, grows up, and he shrieks in terror. Rakesh, your turn.
Oh, I will run up to where he is.
He's he's probably more like 60 feet away from you and like 70 feet away from you.
I take it back. I'm going to have to bring out my crossbow
Right.
and try to shoot him.
Twang. He is already hurt, by the way. He has a big gash in his
That's a
back.
20.
That'll hit.
8 damage.
All right, you put a crossbow bolt right in his back, and he stops, staggers, drops to his knees, and flops forward. And then all goes quiet.
Okay, so we should get these bodies out of plain sight. Can you get rid of all these plants, please?
Why would I do that?
We should have left him with the elves.
We should have left him with the elves before we found him.
Are all
straight
the orc
on.
bodies still orcs?
Yes.
All right. Well, so they're not human uniforms, but they are at least orc uniforms. You guys could put those on.
It looks like they're all wearing like cloaks and stuff. If you want to keep your own armor,
Yeah.
there's things you could put over.
That sounds like a good
At
idea.
least get us closer.
And at this point, I am considering we slit their throats and lay them, off in bushes to make people think that other assassins got them instead of us.
Instead of us assassins, apparently. Okay.
I like that.
We don't want this to
We're
be a
not-
weird
Maybe the
assassination.
death
Right.
No one paid for me to kill them. I'm just a murderer.
All right.
Maybe the evil death assassin cult will now let us in because we've been helping them.
What is this, Skyrim? Come on. Anyways.
Skyrim is a trademark.
All right.
Hours later, quest is done.
Well, you guys put those on, or put on like cloaks and stuff like that. I can start dragging the bodies off and hiding them in bushes and stuff like that while you guys are doing
Some
that.
bushes right over there.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so thank you for creating all this plant growth. Anyhow, so yeah, that's what I'll do while they're.
Sure. It takes like 15, 20 minutes of work
Okay.
to do that.
Cool.
When he's halfway done moving one of the bodies, I'll help him because he's this tall.
He's
Yeah.
tiny. He's a wee little fellow.
I'm wee. It's true. I'm not very strong either.
Mom always made me do the heavy lifting.
That's true. That's true. You always had to carry the bag of
Yeah.
flour.
That's
Yeah.
why you're so much bigger.
Yes,
right.
yes.
He ate his vegetables, basically.
Now, how do you feel about vegetables? It's sacrilege.
I will allow others to eat vegetables, although I personally just keep to fruits and nuts.
Wait, so if
do
you
eat
weren't-
tomatoes?
It's like a massive, theological debate. Entire wars have been fought. So wait, does your character worship plants?
Yes.
Wouldn't you eat animals? It's like another
Before we rock his
sacrilege.
character's worldview anymore. Okay, so once you guys have the uniforms on, I guess we head to the temple, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
Nobody got hurt
We
or
are
anything?
dressed like orcs.
Yes, sorry, now that you're dressed like orcs, sorry.
Orcs who can't speak Orcish.
Right. They're that dumb.
Possibly go wrong.
Right.
Just grunt and babble.
Yeah, that pretty much works. Okay, so I guess we head towards the temple.
All right, so
is a
are you
great
dressing? Is Wriggle is dressing as an orc or not?
I'm gonna once again assume my my impenetrable slave disguise, which basically involves me just walking around saying, "Yep, I'm a slave, all right." Dum 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 dum.
All right, so what is your plan? What do you want to go from here? Bodies are hidden.
I think we're going towards the east side of the.
There was the
fortress?
side door that was open. You heard orcish voices coming from. There was the cottage door that was like on the top of the western U edge. Then there was the main gate.
The eastern edge, you mean?
No, so
Oh,
the west
okay.
side.
Sorry, I got confused.
I have to.
Both doors are on the west side. One is on the side. One is on the tip of the U.
Okay.
Is there any point I can draw on the board where the camera's actually going to see it? If I don't do it over here. All right.
Just draw U. And the bottom part is super thick. It's much bigger. So the left U. Oh no, that's cool. That's cool. You had it the first time. Oh, now it's
it's
too
much bigger.
thin. No, it's
Let's
so
critique his art skills.
left U thing at the top. That's what the cottage is. Like there's basically a door there.
Okay.
The door.
Yeah, just right there, And then on the bottom, on the left side. Oh, sorry. The main gate is right where you're supposed to draw.
Right. That's where I was.
And then go straight left from there. There's another door. Sorry, no. The other side of the wall.
Outside.
Yeah, outside. Sorry. So that door you just drew is the one that was open. You could hear orcs talking. The main gate obviously was where that weird contraption was. And there was orcs.
And then
in
the
main gate.
right side was like more
There were
ruined.
windows. There were windows. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. And that's and stop with the windows. Right, they're all right there. When you looked in, it looked like there was a hallway with a couple doors.
And where was the building sort of in poor repair?
The entire building's in not such great repair.
Oh, okay. I thought you said there was a specific area.
Cottage.
Oh, like the,
So this is like a separate building with a.
Yeah, it looks like it's attached to it. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's a wooden structure that's been attached to the
okay.
stone
All
structure.
right.
Attached to this whole thing is a big wooden structure.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And the same thing for the other side of the U. So you can imagine there was a stone building with these two outbuildings attached to it.
And this is 2 stories.
Yes.
Okay.
Though it looks like in a lot of places the second story is collapsed in.
Okay.
The windows here on the first ground floor.
Yep. And within both of them, it looks like from what you're able to see from the outside that there is probably like a courtyard in the middle of both of those outbuildings. Somewhere in the middle-ish. I mean, it's not. You're not an architect, you get it perfectly.
Are there any 2-story buildings nearby?
There
Any
are,
way
but
that we can jump across, or
no, because this is
Not
on a
that
small
close.
hill.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
There's like maybe 100 or so feet between it and the edge of the hill. The wall was. Yeah, even just the way it's built, it's a built-up city. It's just kind of like an isolated building, and everything else is
And it's.
set away from it.
I mean, is this area like the rest of the city in that it's not well lit?
Yes, that's right. It's almost total darkness. I mean, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like with you guys dressed as orcs, we could just approach the door where the orcs are and get the drop on them before they spot us.
Unless there's like a zillion of them.
In which case, we don't get the drop on them.
do you have?
Well, you had a really ridiculous stealth results. Like you could figure. I mean, you were able to get close enough. It heard like there was probably more like 3 or 4 rather than like 30. Like you could hear them talking, and it sounded like clatter dice, like they're playing like a dice game or something like that, and talking and. They're playing Star Frontiers, right? Yeah. It's fantasy. We have enough of that. No, so it is like there's a huge group of them. Unlike the front gate where there's a bunch of them. There's maybe about a dozen orcs.
Do you have the ability to do silence, or?
Not today.
Yeah, but you know, like we can creep up, and I mean, the 2 of us at the very least are pretty sneaky. So the 2 of us could sneak up and be prepared to jump them. Or, I mean, with you guys disguised, they're gonna think it's just an orc patrol returning, right?
I mean, there was just a patrol that went out.
Why do we have to go in through the orc door? Why can't we just try the?
We should go in through the
cottage
outdoor. Anyways,
What did you say? Try that.
cottage? I mean, we don't know what's in there, but
I suspect we
less
need to get
dark.
into the main area of the building, honestly. So that would lead me to say, let's get closer to the main area of the building.
Seems like we're going to
Yeah.
fight those orcs eventually anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Might as well do
Sounds
it while
good.
we can get the drop on them relatively easily.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so it's the plan, man.
So I think that, do we both want to try and sneak up, or just me, or
How sneaky are you? I mean, I
I'm-
assume you're very sneaky.
I am a halfling rogue. How sneaky do you think I am?
Not to brag.
Not to brag,
I'm
kind
really
sir,
sneaky.
but I'm
I
pretty
noticed
darn
you rolled a
sneaky.
30, and I thought that was an okay result.
Right. Yeah.
Surprise, like, oh really? I should have 30.
I'm quite sneaky.
I'm halfling too, so I'm really good at sneaking.
That's right.
But you're wearing armor.
Yeah.
This is my 6'4" halfling halfling cousin.
I'm 5'10".
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. Well, at the very least, I should sneak up, right?
Yes, I'm happy to sneak as well.
Okay.
Also, quite.
We'll be sneaky bros. Anyhow, okay. So as we approach, then I guess Rakesh and I are going to sneak up so that we're on either side of that door.
Okay. Why don't you give me dexterity checks to sneak?
I'll just stand back here.
I'll hang out with the clear.
Did you hear that guy sneaking? I'm standing back here.
So am I.
All right, what are your results?
15.
Gene?
24.
Oh, wow. Merges becomes
It's not a contest.
The,
So it is against their.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
wisdom.
actually, it's a contest. I see what you did there.
the two of you sneak quietly along the edges of the wall. So you said you're coming at it from different sides?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you're able to kind of like loop out around the door so you don't have to worry about doing that. So, okay, so you're approaching from different sides. And as you approach, you hear the low murmur of voices. So there's a couple orcs talking to each other. Obviously, you can't understand it. But you're able to make very close to the door, and no one seems to have noticed you. The conversation just goes back and forth.
Is there any light inside?
No.
I found a flaw in our plan.
I sneak back.
What's the flaw?
I mean, there is moonlight like going
Yeah.
in through the door, where the door is actually open like it was before.
Yeah.
I should have cast light on them first.
And do we hear the sounds? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Do we hear sounds coming from inside? Or
Yeah,
not?
you hear it sounds like a two orcs talking.
And
There's a
just
conversation
like
back and
like
forth.
sitting in the dark talking, basically.
Yeah, there's only two.
Okay.
Which I mean, even if the orcs, they have dark vision.
Right. Okay. Sure.
I just sitting there.
Could throw a torch in there.
I have to light it first.
Yeah, sure.
Just a second.
Could throw a tree in there.
You hear a yell and a clatter. It sounds like two like humanoids yelling at each other or something, or a fight off to the west beyond the wall. Like
Inside,
a couple
basically.
hundred- nope, on the other side of the wall.
Okay. All right. You know,
Almost
why
like a
don't
street fight or something that just broke out
Outside,
outside the walls. Yeah.
where we just were, more or less.
No, you came from the south. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
do I think that do I think there's enough things to hide, like peering inside? Can I see if there's things for me to hide behind in case I wanted to scout around inside here?
Sorry. So you want to peer inside the room and see if you can spot?
Yeah, I mean, like as we're approaching, we can sort of, or, you know, you said there's moonlight, right?
Yep.
So as we're approaching, I want to kind of look and see that if I were to go inside, would there be enough things for me to hide behind and sneak around?
Right. So just be clear, you're going to peer into the room to see this?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure before I said. And now you're in the room getting attacked. The
And now you're in the room getting attacked. Oh.
all right. So here's what happens. Your result was a 15, right?
Yes.
You peer into the room and you see an orc staring right back at you. He locks eyes with you. Now maybe if like you were an orc yourself, there'd be like one of those shivers of like that moment of like, oh hey, since you're a halfling and you're hanging around in his castle or whatever, you just get a like a look of like fear and like rage, but it's like the orc's definitely on edge. Like he hops up on his feet and has a spear pointing at you. But he looks like almost like nervous and weirded out, and he says something in orcish like "Brr?" Like questioning. And the other orc then kind of looks up, and you see there are actually 4 orcs here, half orcs actually. And when he says says that to you, and kind of has a, and they all look kind of like almost weirded out by the fact that suddenly there's a halfling at our door. The and then one of them says in common, "Who are you?" And they're all now pointing their spears at you, all 4 of them.
I say, "Oh, I'm a messenger sent by the goblin slave lord Krugthar to tell you all that there are free meat pies from an overturned cart down the street."
I whisper to you, I think this is going well.
Yeah, right.
Make a charisma check and
Yeah.
just make. I mean, I gotta admit, I am for character acting and role play, but that kind of came across more creepy than like.
Well, that's what I'm going for.
So I'd give you advantage, but I'm not.
No, that's okay. So I actually end up with a 21.
All right. Oh wow. Okay. So 21. So they look really freaked out by your like what the hell's going on? Right? They're sitting there on guard duty. They look nervous, and this guy with this weird lilting voice is like, "I have meat pies for you." But the sense you get, because you just got over 20, and that's really great, right? Is that they're like, for a moment, like they don't want to believe you, and they all kind of get like tense, and then this like realization dawns on you, like, yeah, message from the slave lords to get the hell out of here. Yeah, we'll obey that order. Like, it kind of like a light bulb goes on. Like, hey, this is a perfect excuse to get out of here. And they seem almost kind of relieved as they start like, oh, okay, like, oh yes, we will indulge in your meat pies. And they all file out.
Oh.
They
Very well
kind of
then.
look behind. They look kind of nervously at you, like they're kind of keeping their eyes on you. But the four of them like start making their way back toward the wall.
All right. Well, so when they start leaving, I will act like oh, my job here is done, and begin making my way. I don't know, sort of towards the south a little bit,
Sure.
until they're out of sight.
And you guys are staying out of sight, and you hid with a result over 16, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they don't notice you. Yeah. The four of them make their way through the grass and out beyond. There's a hole in the wall, like where it's collapsed in, a breach in the wall, and kind of pick their way over it. You get a sense like maybe you just gave these guys plausible deniability for being
Right.
like terrible at their jobs.
Huh. Well, okay. And once I see that they're gone, I'll head back to the door there.
Wow. I'm like an orc whisperer.
I can't believe that worked.
None of us can.
And now I want a meat pie. So
There are meat pies?
that was both in and out of character, by the way. So I'm going to, well, I mean, they're gone now, right? So at this point, I'm just going to look in the door and see what I can see.
So it looks like this was once a stable. The overall, this room is in pretty good shape. The door, it's actually a double door, big door, kept open. To your left, along the northern side of the wall, there are a number of stalls for horses. It's empty now. There's still some hay and stuff piled up. It's old and moldy. It's been there for a long while. But it looks like someone has made some attempt to clear out an area there's a stool, actually there's 4 stools, just arranged where like the orcs were lounging around. It looks like before they left, like they had some dice and some coins out. They picked all those up and pocketed them before they left. And at the far end, to the east, the room's maybe about like 30, 40 feet long. It's a pretty good sized room. There is a single door in the eastern wall that is closed.
In the eastern wall,
Yep, so that way.
headed out towards the courtyard area.
It looks like it isn't quite far enough to reach the courtyard area. And actually, this isn't quite to scale. The arms of the U. No, that's about the thickness. They're more like 50 feet wide. So this would be like 2/3 of the way, kind of doing a quick estimate.
Okay.
So it would not. It doesn't look like it would open out to that courtyard.
Okay. Does it look like it's? So the door to the outside is open or gone?
It's open.
Okay. So there is a door. It's
Yeah.
just okay.
I guess it's like, this might be the kind of place where they take maybe deliveries or supplies. Or
Okay,
like that.
sure. And is this whole area that we're in, this sort of add-on X stable, as it were, does it look like it's in poor repair?
Yeah, it looks like it's they have not used this for horses.
Okay, and the door leading to the east, does it look like it's in bad shape?
It just looks like it doesn't look like it's been maintained. But it doesn't look like it's been
Nothing exceptional about it then,
nothing
okay.
exceptional.
Just to be safe, I would like to go up to the door and sort of listen at the door and also check it for traps.
Sounds good.
So, oof. Unfortunately, I get a 7 in looking for traps. And
Looks clear.
do you want me to just make a wisdom check to listen?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Also a 7.
Yeah, no, sounds clear to you.
Yep. All right, guys. All clear.
We will trust you completely.
You should. I got rid of all those orcs.
My brother's infallible.
Whisper.
Right, yes.
As those guys are approaching, I will also listen. Make sure I don't hear anything weird. 14.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
Right.
Open the door.
I'll go and open the door confidently that there are no traps.
We're still in darkness.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
But there's like moonlight and stuff.
Yeah. Though as you open the door, it is dark beyond. There is faint light spilling into a hallway heading out to the east, maybe about 15 feet. Yeah, and it looks like the hallway, after 15 feet, turns to the north, and there's a door at the corner there where it turns to the north on the southern wall. Now, at this stage, we can go into exploration mode if you want, just to nominate what you guys are doing automatically, or we can just go round by round and find either way.
A door in the southern wall. Is the southern wall stone?
Yes.
So we're running along the outside of the old building,
Looks
basically.
like it, yeah. In fact, I think we'll just keep going round by round because you are in a pretty potentially deadly area.
Okay.
Lots of monsters around you.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Well, in that case,
And just sorry for your reference, the door there is a little bit offset to the south. So if you went straight across, you get the sense that you wouldn't hit the that central courtyard. So
So there's another room beyond.
Yeah, sorry. So the
Probably.
door is actually, it's more like the door is right here. Let's do this easier. That was the, there you go. It's more like that wall is like here.
okay,
So I
I
should
see.
have you the first time.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, it's not off by much, but you get the sense like if you would just open the door and walk straight through, you'd come out this side. rather than
Okay.
here. So it's not off by a lot, but since Rakesh got such a ridiculous stealth result, he was able to take a pretty thorough investigation of the area. I don't know what that means.
There's a door to the south.
16A.
Right in 16A.
I have no idea what. Oh no. No, they were in room 6.
Okay, so.
Oh, sorry, someone's
So there are
asking.
at least
Okay.
five
They got the
more
map.
rooms.
They're broadcasting the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm watching the map right here.
Yeah, Pete's got the PDF of the adventure.
It says there's a secret door to the south.
Okay, so that door heading to the south is again in a stone wall, right?
Yep.
Okay, I will also be moving up to that one to check it for traps.
Go for it.
While he does that, I'm going to check out the north
That's better.
bend, make sure there's.
Oh, it's a long corridor. Oh, well, it's pretty dark. Do you have a light source?
Nope.
You can't see
Oh.
too much. The light's pretty much been blocked off
listen.
here. But you can make
I
a
can
wisdom check.
illuminate you.
No, thank you. 12.
Don't hear anything.
I got a 12 on my check for traps on that door.
It looks actually this door's in pretty good shape. But no traps or anything like that.
Okay. So now that we're getting out of the moonlit area, we actually probably do need light because
torch, yeah.
we're all. Do you want it to be you? Do you have a special apple that you cast light on?
That's a good
There's an
idea.
apple for that.
There's an apple for that. Oh. Wow. I wish I hadn't said that now.
So do we.
So does the internet.
I want you to
Sorry, internet.
cast light like on a shield.
I have a shield. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be the.
I mean, we're not going to be sneaking once
Actually, I
we
think you
have the
can't
light.
cast light on an object that's held by somebody other than you.
It's the rules lawyers. Like,
That's something I've been griping about.
Slap down.
it's a good way to like bring your argument to the people. Like, hey, people on the internet, notice how this is
You touch an
terrible.
object.
No, I'm wrong.
No,
It's only
no.
darkness and daylight have that language.
That's right.
Some more look at how James invents problems. I complain about
Color
it.
any light. It's green.
It's great.
Of course it
Green
is.
light.
It's a disco ball.
If you didn't
So-
put me in a red light.
It's a
if we-
strobe light.
I mean, we need the light to see because we're all, non-special vision people. But this means that that's basically an end to sneaking for us.
yeah, I mean, you can't
Unless,
really light source.
well, I can go ahead a bit,
we're
but that's about
we're in an area where we're avoiding orcs right now.
Yeah,
And I'm not as scared of orcs as I am of the humans. So
sure.
once we are in an area that is populated by humans, we will have light.
Okay.
And do you have like a long sword?
I have a long sword.
Yeah. I can put it on that instead, so
okay.
you can sheath it if you need.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, good.
So which way do you guys want to go? You can. Oh, also James, with the light source now, you can see to the north. There is a side passage to the east. So you turn to the north, and there's a passage heading to the east.
Like behind the gate.
Right at the gate area.
Here.
Yeah, like right in there-ish. Yeah.
And does it continue on?
you'd have to go down the hallway and take a peek. And for those following along at home, there's actually a funny thing. I figured out this adventure. But whatever, the map is not going to be quite accurate because there's a funny convergence between the tournament version and the printed version. So I'm modifying the map a little bit. But
Are you making this up as we go along?
oh, completely. I'm just saying this entire adventure is just.
All right, so I think we need to go through the southern door. Yeah. I mean, I checked it for traps, didn't find any traps.
That seems like that would lead to where we want to go.
Okay.
All right, who was opening the door?
I believe I am the designated door opener.
All right, so you swing the door open, and you see beyond. It's a bare room. It's about, like, say, 20 by 30, 30 east-west, 20 north-south. But the most important thing is there's a lot of flies in here, and there's a weird, like, sickly, sweet smell, and what looks like a mound of rags or vines or something just piled up in the middle of the room. And you see beyond there is a short staircase leading up to a passage beyond it.
And so, like at the southern end of the room.
Yeah.
This staircase?
Yeah, but it goes up very shallowly, like not like maybe a second floor, but just
Just like a raised.
Yeah.
Is it a rotting smell or is it?
It's just a weird. It's kind of like a sickly, sweet. It's almost like honey, and the flies are buzzing around, and they kind of start
Are they
buzzing around you.
buzzing in particular around the heap of stuff in the middle?
Yeah.
Can I?
Giant sundew.
Maybe I should try and go around it and see what's up the stairs.
If you can go wide around it, that
Yeah.
makes me nervous.
This may be like This might be like a 5-foot gap between it and any of the walls.
Well, I mean,
What's the worst thing that can happen?
yeah, we need to find out what's beyond it anyways. So I
can roll
will.
initiative.
I will do that. I'll go around, basically press myself up against the wall and go around it, trying to get to the stairs by following the walls.
Okay. Why don't you, while everyone else is watching, make the better of your intelligence or wisdom. Make a check.
17.
All right. As you start moving in, you notice that it looks like some of the tendrils are starting to move. Like as you just start crossing the,
Like towards me.
like whatever this thing is, it's mobile. It is capable of moving itself.
Well, we have light, so it has almost certainly detected us.
Talk to it.
You speak vegetable.
Can you speak with plants?
Interestingly, no. I can speak to animals, though.
I guess.
Okay.
You know, you could have been a druid. Never thought I'd say that to a cleric.
Okay, so I say it's time for some diplomacy. Kill it with fire! I actually say that.
Does anyone wish to try to kill it with fire?
I
don't have
Yeah, I'll. If he says that, I'll sacred flame it.
All right. Roll your attack.
It's actually dexterity.
Dexterity save there.
Yeah.
All right. So you hurl flame at it. It fails horribly.
And this is actually
Radiant damage.
Yeah. So 12 points of radiant damage. Green radiant damage.
All right.
Of course it is.
Shrivels up as you blast it with radiant energy, and it seems kind of like pull itself up. And actually, one of the tendrils reaches out and shoots toward you, but actually hits the door,
Oh.
and boom, slams the door shut.
Like the door that they were all standing in?
Yeah, because remember I said you were almost across the doorway. Yeah,
yeah.
so you're all standing there, and then boom, the door's been like slammed shut in your face.
Oh, in my face?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't quite in the...
That's right, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you were just about to go into the room when you noticed, hey, wait a sec, there's something creepy about this thing.
I did open the door again?
Make a strength check.
Oh. This is not where I'm a Viking. That's a 6.
Yeah, it feels like something's pushing on the other side of the door trying to keep it shut.
Did we just disturb a poor plant's like hotel room? Get out!
This is the
Maybe
evil
he was
assassin
using the
temple.
rest-
Oh, okay, okay. A restroom, the plant restroom.
Weird. So,
Knock.
Dun, dun, dun.
so cousin,
Yep.
time to.
I'll
apply
open this
some of that-
door.
apply some of that famous light finger strength.
Yes.
Oh,
We definitely want to go this way.
So you crashing the door?
I want to go this way. Now that something is trying to stop us from
Dexterity
going this
save.
way, I want to go this way.
Now I
That
understand.
would be a 20.
All right, You go rushing into the door, and as soon as you make contact with it, it goes flying open, and you're just able to stop yourself from tumbling into the room. And you see these two tendrils that are have risen up from the plant. Yeah, right in front of you.
Hey, that's my shtick.
I got it open.
Broken plant style, apparently.
Do you want to roll for initiative, or
I would love to roll for initiative.
Sure.
I'm all for rolling for initiative.
I have been insulted by some sort of plant monster here.
I got a 3
I'm
for
going
initiative
first.
again. Hits just keep coming.
It's okay, I'll probably get a 0.
18.
13 for tree.
19.
Oh, wow. So if you're not wasting all these initiatives.
26.
All right, 26. You get to go first.
Okay, how far into the room is it from me? Like, how deep
Like,
is it?
It's basically 5 feet from the door to where it is. And
Okay.
you're like right at the doorway.
All right, then I'm going to move in to the room and
Right.
attack it with both my short swords.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So 2 natural 1s on my attack rolls. Thankfully, I'm lucky. So
Roll both of them.
I am like Captain Natural 1 this session.
you are.
I don't
Showing
think
off
I've
those
rolled
halfling
anything lower than
mechanics.
12.
That's not
And then you
great.
still roll bad.
All right, so that is a 14 and a 13.
Those do both hit. It is
Okay.
just, after all, a giant immobile plant.
Okay, so that is going to be 7 slashing or 7 piercing damage and 4 piercing damage.
All right, so I have good news and bad news.
Good.
The good news is you hit it. The bad news is your weapons are now stuck to it.
Huh. That's a thing. I'm gonna let go of my weapons.
Okay.
And
Take 'em.
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to move back around the corner.
Okay, that will provoke.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, it's going to try to slap you with one of its.
I can't wait to see the monk attack it.
Watch.
14.
It's going to be
14's a
something
miss?
to
Okay,
behold.
you dodge out of the way.
All right. And so when I get back around the corner, I'm going to use my cunning action to hide from it.
Okay, make your check.
It is a 15.
All right. Next up is Peter, your fighter.
Seeing 2 short swords stuck to it, I'm going to draw my javelin and chuck it at it.
All right, roll it.
And that is a 20 or 10 to hit.
10 will miss. You hurl your javelin at it, and one of its tendrils reaches up and swacks it, and the javelin gets stuck to the tendril. All right, that brings us around to Rakesh.
I, being a monk, pull out my crossbow. My magic crossbow.
Ooh, that's just a plus one.
And loose a bolt. That's a 24.
That'll hit.
That's 10 damage.
All right, it's not looking too healthy. And luckily, since I rolled a 3, Tree, you
I
gonna
will-
kill one of your own kind?
I will.
Your own kind.
The Temple of the Radiant Flower does not condone the killing of some plants.
Blah, 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 kill
But
the
if
fire.
it's evil,
Wait, you eat fruit.
Do
Oh,
you
that's
know
it.
it's
Doesn't kill the
evil?
plant. That's the difference between
I
fruits
only
and
eat fruit
vegetables.
that's actually fallen from the tree already.
I only eat chaotic evil fruit.
Right.
yeah, I will summon a sacred flame on it.
All right, what's the DC?
14.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 4.
Right.
How much damage?
8.
You sear it, and it goes limp and collapses to the ground. You have slain the giant sundew.
I was right.
Nice.
Nice.
What was it?
Giant sundew.
All right. So now that it's dead, go poke our way into back into the room. Our weapons that are stuck, or well, yeah, our weapons that are stuck to it. Can we
Yeah, it's gonna take you a few seconds.
Rip them off,
pulling it
basically?
off, but
Okay.
it's like
You kept to
I
pee
am
on them.
sorry, my plant brethren.
That's your answer to
It was
everything.
necessary for the greater good.
All right. So recover our weapons, clean them,
Sure you're not a druid?
and then I'm going to go up to the stairs
Okay.
and peek around the see what's up there.
The stairs go up a short distance, and then there's a passage. As the passage turns to the west.
Okay. All right. Come on, fellas.
I'll follow along. Is there any sign of light? Other than the glowing green sword that I'm carrying?
Nope.
All right.
Head on.
Yep.
All right. So, what is your marching order? Who's in front?
Pete's in front.
I'll be in front.
All right. And what are you guys doing as you walk? Is anyone like searching for traps, all that other stuff?
I will keep watch.
So are the hallways wide enough that we can go side by side?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will be beside him searching for traps
Okay,
as we
make
go.
your check.
All right.
You're keeping watch. Make your check. So you basically keep watch.
I have a 23.
All right.
Wisdom check or wisdom check?
Yeah, it was in check.
12.
12. What was your result?
15.
And James, what are you doing as the
Keeping watch behind us.
All right, go ahead and make your wisdom check.
18.
Okay.
Nice.
So your group. So 2 of you in front.
Yep.
2 of you in the back. The passage turns to the west. There's an alcove with like 3 barrels in it. The passage then also continues west past it, then turns to the south. The barrels look relatively new. They're sort of this stained brown, and they're all sealed.
Does it look like I could pry one open?
Yeah, you could maybe use a blade or something.
Yeah, I've got a dagger I could use.
Yeah, it takes a second. You see inside, it smells like vinegar or something.
Old wine.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's probably it.
Interesting.
Is this area disused?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a little dusty in here.
Obviously, that plant thing keeps people from coming through here. All right. Well. Yeah, I guess we'll just make note of it and keep going.
All right. So you continue to the west. It turns to the south, and you see now another chamber. It looks like this area is collapsed. There's moonlight coming through the roof. It looks like in this area the second floor collapsed down and through the floor here into the basement, the cellar, leaving a giant pile of wreckage. The room is about 30 feet long or so, maybe 20 feet wide. There is a lip around the edges of the pit that's been formed by the collapse. And straight away across, there's a wooden beam that looks like it's been dropped into place to form a crude bridge.
I have a grappling hook.
I want to look down under the floor. So the upper story and the roof basically crashed through down into a cellar or a basement. So could we climb down the rubble into a basement?
It doesn't look up here. There's enough. Like what else looks like someone maybe is like they threw a bunch of rubble and garbage down there. It's pretty thoroughly choked with like bricks, wood, and other debris.
Okay.
Does it look like we could possibly use like a grappling hook or something to harness the top of the next floor up? And climb
It's
up?
two. It's basically the same size hole. So you could try to climb up. That could work.
How far, if we were going over the beam and fell, how far down would we go before we hit rubble?
Maybe. Well, you wouldn't go down too far, but the rubble is pretty jaggy, so it'd be the equivalent of a 10-foot drop. D6 damage.
I'm pretty light, so I could head across to scout and see what's over there.
Sure.
Is there-
I also think we might want to investigate the top floor. Just thinking that
Sure, head up to the second
if
floor
there's
and
anything
maybe.
important, it's more likely to be up there.
And when Rakesh was scouting the outside, he noticed that large areas of the second floor, like all over the temple, had collapsed in.
In the wooden area, yeah. The starting is hard to see because it looks like there's an outer wall of stone. But it looks like from
Okay.
where the construction looking it looks like they built an outer wall of stone and then wooden construction in the interior.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like so, like a wall and then maybe buildings or something built around inside of it.
Okay, but it's not weird for us to think that there might be many areas that are collapsed like this throughout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Across the beam, is there an exit on the other
There's a
side?
passageway up heading south. And actually, it looks like another short flight of stairs, like the one that you just went up.
Up or down?
Down.
Do you want me to go scout it out and
Sure.
then? Okay.
That seems reasonable.
All right, I'm gonna make my way across the beam.
Okay. The beam is a little wobbly.
Okay.
You're able to make your way across.
Do you want me to make a?
No,
check?
it's. I mean, you're light enough as a halfling, and to you, it's plenty wide.
Right.
So you're actually able to make it across.
Yeah, I have a
pretty
dex of 19, so.
easily. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're able to make your way across
Okay.
pretty easily.
All right.
Though you have a sense maybe someone heavier or bigger than you might not have it as easy.
Okay. So when I get over to the other side, I want to sort of peek in the area where the stairs are and see what I can see.
It looks like the stairs go down, and then there is a passage heading south. that. Do you have a light source? Yeah, you don't see
I
too
can't really
far
see
down.
much
There
beyond
is some
that.
moonlight coming into the hole in the roof, but
Okay. All right. Then I'll go back across the beam and tell you guys. I don't see any immediate threat on either side, but I don't think that beam is going to hold you,
How
especially now you
long
are
is the
tight.
beam? How wide is the hole?
I'm sorry. How long is the beam? The beam is it's about 20 something feet wide, extends all the way across.
So-
it's maybe about 2 or 3 feet wide.
Maybe if
It's like a
the
big timber you use to build like a roof. or
Yeah, I was
something.
just thinking if we send you across with a rope, and I hold the other end of the rope, these guys can cross using the rope, but I'm not sure that we're
I
not
think-
strong enough to hold them if they fall.
Well, it's not only that, but I think it's the problem is the beam is going to break. So
maybe
It was
we
getting a little
just-
bendy in the middle.
Maybe we just
do you-
climb down.
do you wear
on
chainmail?
Yeah,
yeah, I mean these guys are wearing heavy armor,
but
right?
we
so-
could just climb down on the side. Like if we look down, are there handholds to where we could climb down through?
You
the
could try
hole?
to lower yourself down to the hole and make your way through the wreckage. It'd be hard going.
We can easily drop ropes on both sides
Yeah.
to go up and down.
You can also try that second floor, like you said.
I've got a grappling hook, so we can possibly get a rope up and look around the roof. I mean,
I'm curious. I'd rather start at the top and move
Okay.
our way down.
well, I'm guessing the top is lesser used because it's all collapsed.
Yeah, true. I was just thinking that if there's anything important,
I would think it'd be down below.
yeah, depending on how far down it goes. But
Well, we
Well-
think there's a secret tunnel out, so
So what I'll do is I'll go over to the other side and have a rope waiting there for for you guys, and you're going to climb down, pick your way through the rubble, and then climb back up. Yeah,
yeah,
Sure.
Well,
maybe.
yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'm going to try the beam after you go across.
Yeah, you're not wearing heavy armor, so you might be okay. But
Okay, so who's going first? People crawling across the bottom?
I am going
Maybe-
first
So you go
across
back
the beam.
across. Who's going next?
Maybe you should actually go to the other side so that when we are climbing up, it's not just the halfling trying to hold
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, that way we can work together.
So I will go across the beam second.
Give me a dexterity check.
26.
All right.
Wow.
You actually you walk backwards. All I don't know if this is a good idea, guys.
I have a
Totally
dex
showing
20
off.
And,
You go
and
across your
expertise.
hands. Yeah.
There you go.
You roll across it like cartwheel.
show off.
All right. So everyone else is gonna try to climb down, pick
Yep.
your way through the wreckage.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So it's slow going and it's hard work as you're making your way across. And both of you give me dexterity checks also.
Oh wow, 22.
18.
All right. So wow, you guys like mountain goats.
Little
picking
known
your way
fact:
across
when we're
this.
inside the building, we're the ninja squad.
So yeah, you all four of you make your way. There's a couple times where it's a little unsteady, but you're able. And it's kind of dark in here because there's just moonlight. But you're able to pick your way across without injuring yourselves or.
When we're in the lower level, can we see actually any passages going elsewhere? No.
It's so thoroughly choked with.
yeah.
It looks like they've been just throwing too much. And also, actually, from the wood, it looks like there must have been a fire inside here because a lot of the wood is fire damaged. The beams and stuff. It looks like. And actually, do any of you have any background in like carpentry or?
Blacksmithing?
You recognize a little bit. I mean, from working with just building stuff, it must have been a big fire in here. A lot of the interior portions must have been gutted because there's just a ton of wood. It's all blackened and burned.
Do you need
Yeah.
how long?
You would, as a blacksmith, it doesn't. But you do recognize it doesn't look like this was like using a fire, like a campfire. It looks like it's all scorched and burned and warped.
Could have been when the humanoids came.
Yeah.
That's the extent of the damage they were able to wreak.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess
back up?
Rakesh and I pull these two up on the other side.
Okay. And passage continues to the south, and it turns to the east.
I think we resume our marching order and our exploration tasks. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to use the roll results. So you make your way down the passage. It turns to the east and ends after about 20, 30 feet in a door to the south.
I'd like to check for those traps.
Yeah, this door is actually fire blistered, and there's like a hole that's been knocked in it.
Oh, okay.
But you go ahead and still check.
Okay, I'll check anyways. 28.
Yeah, it just looks like it's in such
Oh,
bad
I
shape.
rolled well for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I've got your dice apparently this
I've
game.
been noticing that.
Yeah, no traps.
Okay.
And actually, as you're going down this area, it looks like this passage has been recently built. Like the walls around you look like fresher brick. It's crude construction, but it looks like it has been built up
Does
recently.
it look like maybe that was done since whenever the roof collapsed?
Yeah.
So they've been rebuilding back here in this area.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I just want to search the walls, make sure that there's no nothing unusual about
Sure.
it.
As you're moving, you can go ahead and make a wisdom check. You haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. As you're walking
I
along.
Not even worth reporting.
Oh, you can also see through the hole in the door. The roof here, you can kind of peer in. It looks like the roof here is also collapsed, but the floor has held, and the debris looks like it must have been cleared away. Because while there's a hole on the top with a lip around the edge, like in the other room, there isn't like stuff piled in here. So clearly, someone or something must have come through and hauled all that wreckage out.
I just wonder why they would be rebuilding this section if it doesn't lead to anything.
Well, then it probably leads to something.
I'll open the door.
Yeah.
All right. The door opens up, and you see a chamber like I just described. There's a door on the western wall here, and there's the ledge up above you.
What does the door look like? Is it?
It's like the door you just came through. It's fire blackened.
pretty black,
It's got a couple.
okay.
Yeah. It looks like it's
Are there
in
any
good
obvious tracks on the floor?
shape. No. You can make a wisdom check to scan it.
Only a 12.
No, it does look like people have moved through here, but it's because it's not like super dusty. But you can't really.
And the room's been
details.
largely cleared, you said, so there's not a lot of stuff here.
There's like just like dirt and stuff and a few timbers in the corner, but it looks like someone. I mean, judging by the fact the roof collapsed in, someone or something must do a whole.
Okay.
There wasn't anything along the eastern wall?
No, that wall though, like the other walls, looks like it's been freshly built.
I'm gonna go inspect that wall.
Okay, as you walk in, two humanoid creatures leap off the edge and down upon you.
Oh, well.
Ninjas!
All right, so now
Maybe they're doppelganger ninjas.
let's see if you were surprised because you guys were on watch, and so I'm gonna have these guys make a dexterity check. All right, they do surprise you. So you're all kind of watching, keeping your eyes out, but then suddenly these two humanoids, and there's a bunch more hiding up in the lip. They must have seen your light as you approach. They have set an ambush. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Okay. Now I've got my hot dice back.
Finally, I got a happy initiative result, 14. Anyone beat a 14?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a 14.
What's your modifier?
-1.
Okay, you will be going second. So Rakesh, what'd you get?
15.
Wriggle.
25.
16.
And Idiar.
Of course, that's where all my hot dice rolls are, is
Yeah.
on initiative.
Right.
All right, they do have you surprised, but only the two that jump down. Okay, so two of them jump down. They are emaciated-looking humanoids with long claws and fangs, and they set upon you immediately. So, I might need more d20s for all these attacks. All right, first they try to claw you.
Not the face.
Okay, and they have advantage. That's a surprise. Oh my god. I rolled 40-20. The sum of my rolls is 14, with high being 6.
Good
But they
for
do
us.
get to bite.
I'm fine with that. I really am.
Yay, the bite 20. Take 4 damage, and DC 12 con save, please. Unless you're an elf.
Ah,
Not an elf. I wish I was, though.
Oh, boy.
I failed.
All right, you stiffen up and collapse to the ground, correct? When you're paralyzed, you fall to the ground? But
Great.
he falls down to the
we
ground.
lost our clear.
The
That bodes well.
I can cure paralysis.
other one, since you were searching the door, I'm going to judge you're in the doorway,
Sure.
and the other two guys are behind, but you are filling the doorway.
Okay.
He's going to rush over to you with his claws.
All right.
Keep my legendarily bad luck. 23,
That is a hit.
22,
Yeah.
and 24.
No, that one misses.
So here's how this works. You're gonna take a total of 10 damage. If you need it broken out, let me know. 3, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I'll actually use my reaction to have the 4 to 2.
Okay, so 3, 3, 2.
Okay.
And then give me 3 Constitution saves.
I don't know what that is. Okay, so that is a 10, a 13, and a 16.
You are also paralyzed. Right. That was their surprise
Yeah, I can
round.
hear that.
That's great.
A couple more jump down, but the doorway is blocked by the one that was in the way, and you're standing there. So the that one is actually, after it drops, is going to move into the hallway, engaging you two. A couple more jump down. So there are a total of 4 of them. And then we will bring it around to the top of the order. Wriggle. So on your turn,
Yep.
you may make another saving throw to try to.
I'm going to do that. I do not roll well.
ADR.
Okay, I will slice at the ghoul right next to me. Getting a 16,
Hit.
and that is 11 damage, and it is magical if it matters.
No, it's badly hurt. All right, you slash into it and it hisses and howls at you, reaching at you with its claws. Rakesh, your turn.
There's only one ghoul near me.
Yep. And there's 3 more ghouls in the room.
I will hit the one near me first. 24
Hit.
and a 13.
13 will also hit.
Wow. 6 and 5, 11 total.
You snap its neck and it falls to the ground.
I would like them to move into the room to stand near Greg's
All right.
paralyzed.
Stand over your fallen comrade.
I
The-
can do something about these.
Right, so
Don't turn undead on me.
Wrong.
I mean,
Try not to.
ghouls around you are going to attack you. So first, a flurry of claws. What's your AC?
17.
Okay, they are going to hit you a
That's a
bunch.
the ghouls have lungs.
Right, flurry of claws, yeah.
Actually, you get hit twice total.
Wow.
So take 6 damage
When you get attacked by a cat, that's a furry.
and
of
2
claws.
saving throws.
DC 12, you said?
Yep.
11!
Oh my god, you're paralyzed too. So then, let's see. Actually, they're all attacking you, so that's basically the. Can they split up multi-attack? No, they can't. It's you
On the
use your
moment
action.
attack? No, they make 3 attacks.
So they can claw, move, bite. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll. Only one of them's gonna come out. Well, it's in the middle of the bite. They just they attack you, and once you're down, it seems one will move up and attack ADR because you're gonna also be blocking the doorway. It'll try to bite you and get an 8 and
That'll
miss. All right. So that was the ghoul's turn. Tree, you can make attempt a saving throw.
Only 11.
Oh wow, that's a lot of 11s on this DC 12 save. So
Nope, still paralyzed.
okay, so that brings us back to the top of the order. Oh my god, I dropped my D20. Oh well. Okay, so that was Tree. Wriggle, your turn.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow, you guys are about to get
The dice have betrayed me!
ADR.
I will slice into the one I already wounded.
Next time on live streaming D&D,
And that
another group of
will be a
adventurers
25.
goes to rescue the others.
For a lot of damage. So that is 13 points of damage.
It's still up. He had dropped the one you had hurt.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you slash into it. Rakesh, saving throw.
Yeah, 15.
Hey, you're unparalyzed. And okay, that brings us back.
So
back to,
it is my action to make the saving throw?
Yeah.
So then I can stand up.
yes.
So that's what I do.
All right, so you stand up. The ghouls. So one is going to attack Rakesh. AC, what's your armor class again?
17.
On the button. Oh wow, my dice are getting their revenge. 24.
Sure
will
there,
hit.
Mike. Sure there.
Vital miss. Okay, so 2 saving throws and you take 6 points of damage total.
6 total?
Yep.
This whole live stream thing's just been an
Okay.
elaborate ruse
Okay.
so that Mike can show how much of a killer DM he is to the world.
April Day, the guy with the machine gun comes around the corner.
Suddenly
The,
we're in gangbusters.
All right, so who is not? You're not paralyzed.
I am
right?
not paralyzed.
Okay, so someone attacks you. What's your armor class, please?
18.
Oh, miss. Hit with a claw. Miss with the bite. Take 3 damage and saving throw, please. Con save.
I'm good.
All right, and then the third ghoul.
Please save us,
Let's
fighter.
see, you two.
Three right now?
You are both paralyzed,
Yeah.
right? One is going. Let's see. You're active. Oh, is he going to try to? He's going to grab you and start dragging you toward the
I
door.
was standing right next to him.
Oh, and you're unparalyzed.
Right. Intentionally guarding him.
He's going to do that. Oppie.
18.
Hit.
10 damage.
Oh wow! So that's a pretty stern rebuke. But he still keeps trying to drag the cleric away.
Scarlet Brotherhood, it's all about stern reviews.
Crunchies and munchies. And that brings us to Tree.
Yeah, because I'm paralyzed, I don't get a strength or anything to oppose it.
You are an object. I mean, for the purpose of this.
Don't
I really don't want to go with this guy. And that would be a 4.
You need to want it more.
What's clerics on the menu tonight, boys? Okay, Wriggle, your turn.
All right, I'm making my con save, and I'm gonna make it.
Where's that natural one when you need it, right?
Yeah, like I actually want the natural one just so that I have the chance to roll better. But no, I get a 10.
Why don't you hope for like a 12?
I don't know. I don't know.
It might work good.
because priorities, Pete.
Okay.
Jeez.
Idiot.
I will slice into the one I already wounded, and I will hit for 6 damage.
All right, you chop it down.
And then I will, if possible, move up to the one that is dragging tree away.
Do that, you will provoke opportunity attacks.
From how many?
From so there are still 2 left. You would provoke it from the one that's next to Rakesh. So there are still 2 left.
I gotta risk it.
Okay. He will claw you as you walk by.
Yeah, but I want to. Let's see what I get.
I was rolling in front of
No,
us.
that'll miss. Only a 6 on the
Look
die.
at the coup de grace and paralysis rules.
The eating a cleric rules. All right, so he will miss. So you're able to move up and threaten the ghoul that's trying to drag him away. Rakesh, your turn.
I just hit the one that is trying to drag him away for a lot of damage, right?
Yep. There is the so there is. Yeah.
2 left.
The ghoul that's like right next to you is the only uninjured one. The one that's dragging the cleric away is badly hurt because you smacked him pretty hard.
Oh.
So no, I'm sorry. You dropped one. There's only one left, and that's the one driving
Oh.
away. Yeah. Sorry, because you dropped 2 and you dropped 1. Is my
And what
notes
I'll
right?
beat him.
So then who made it the happy?
No, I'm sorry. I had my hit points out here. I X'd off 1 extra guy. There are still 2 left. There's the one in the doorway that's next to you, and the one driving him out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I X'd off a ghoul.
So
that
it's
I-
not next to me, it was next to Pete, because I already came in.
Yes,
to-
that's right.
Okay. So I will make 2 attacks on the one that's trying to drag the cleric away. 20 and a 12.
The 20. Both of those will hit.
Oh, wow. How's 16 damage?
That's more than enough to crack this guy's skull open. He will drop to the ground. There is 1 more ghoul left, and
The one
let's-
dragging tree away.
No, he just killed the one dragging him away. There was
Oh,
one-
you went over to him? Oh, okay.
The one that was between
already-
him.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you're on the ground. In order for that ghoul, though, to get to Tree and be a complete jerk, it's going to have to provoke some opportunity attacks.
So I'm still on the
but
ground,
you're on the
yeah.
ground next to him.
Yeah.
So he is going to try, and you're only a halfling.
I am only a halfling.
So
yes.
he's going to pick you up
Oh, good.
and
My brother!
start moving to the north. He needs action to pick you up because he does have to kind of grab you and throw you over his shoulder, so he can only take a standard move. He can't hustle. But you do see him scoot down the hallway and start moving down to the west, and then trying to turn to the north. Tree, saving throw.
I suggest you make this.
Yay!
All right.
And I stand up.
All right, that is your turn. Wriggle.
All right, I'm gonna try and make my saving throw. Come on, I'm gonna do this. I do this.
Okay, so you
right.
unparalyzed while
All right, so
you're
I'm
being carried away by a
unparalyzed, but
ghoul.
I'm like over his shoulder or whatever.
So you've used your action.
So is he grabbing me basically?
Yeah, and so basically, you really can't move because he's got a good grip on you. You'd have to use an action to try to break free from him. You do have that special rogue trick though, right?
Yeah, I can only really use it for certain things though, and none of them are escaping a grab. So I would say that I'm probably done.
Okay. Idiar. Your brother's being carried off by a ghoul.
How far away is he?
He's around the corner. So he's probably like maybe, let's see, he is about 35. But your
Okay,
total
I'll
movement you have to
have to
expend
move
to
and
get
hustle.
next to him. If you move and hustle, you can get
I'll
next
move
to
and
him.
hustle to get next to
Yep.
him.
So that's what you'll have to do. Rakesh.
I will do the same thing.
All right.
Move and hustle.
All right, so you're both able to get next to him. On the ghoul's turn, unfortunately, he can just withdraw and keep running. So that is what he is going to do.
He only
Correct?
gets half his speed on the withdraw, right?
But he then gets his full
Yeah.
move, right? Disengage.
Yeah, he can disengage and then move,
So that's 1.5 times the speed.
basically.
All right, he's going to do that, gents. He's going to move 45 feet.
Does he have to make a?
Oh, I'm sorry,
check
he's
to-
burdened.
And also because you're no longer paralyzed, does he actually have to make?
He's-
a check
You're going to have to use your
at this
action.
point?
to get-
Yeah, well, he's got me grabbed effectively.
I am going to. So actually, you know what? I'm sorry. You would have still had to hustle across the room and then around the corner, but he is burdened. So I'm going to. It's like wearing heavy armor. for him, so.
Every 5 feet costs you an extra 5 feet of movement while you're moving around.
While you're grabbing somebody, okay.
Oh,
So-
unless it's 2 side. No, okay.
He can move like 25 feet away from you, which he tries to do. He's just trying to escape, and actually, nah, he dumps the halfling.
Okay.
And so he runs 45 feet away from you, which is around the corner and up the stairs into the room with the collapsed floor.
The room where we crossed the beam?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
What do you guys wish to do? That brings us to Tree, who is standing up in the room.
Do you let me know that? I mean,
You wouldn't really hear anything yet, so
Yeah.
you just hear a scuffle and
yeah, I was just
things
thinking.
falling.
I would not shout because we are kind of creeping through
Yeah,
this
in
area,
that
so
case-
I would not scream.
In that case, I'll just rush after you guys, which lets me move 50 feet. But
Right.
I don't think that.
You basically come around the corner and see the halfling. You see Wriggle on the floor, sprawled out. And the rest of the party standing there. Let's see. What does Wriggle? What do you want to do?
All right, so I will use my movement to stand up, and then I will use my my cunning action to rush in the direction he came from,
Okay.
and that'll get me another 25 feet towards him. Is that close enough that I can see him?
That's it. You are able to get around the corner and halfway up the stairs, and you can see it looks like he is just standing on the lip of the room with the collapsed floor.
In that case, then as I'm running around the corner, I'm going to draw my short bow and shoot at him with my short bow.
All right, go for it. Roll your attack. He is uninjured, by the way.
That is a 23
That will hit.
for 10 piercing damage.
Okay, you put an arrow deep into him. He growls and spins around to look at you. Idiar.
I'm going to move up 25 feet. So can I
Yeah,
get
that'll get you.
to the stairs where I can
Yep, you're at the base of the stairs and you can see
draw a
the top.
javelin and...
Yeah, he'll have cover though. So
Well, I got to try.
Yeah, well,
Cover is
mine's 2.
-2. That is a 17 to hit.
hit.
For a measly 5 points of damage.
Oh, you knock.
Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled the wrong die.
Oh, what's this?
So 7 damage. I
Okay,
upgraded.
he is still standing though. Your javelin cuts a big cuts into his shoulder, but it doesn't impale. He's able to twist out of the way, barely avoiding the blows. We come to Rakesh.
I will move 30 feet towards him, pulling out my crossbow as I go and loading it,
Okay.
and shoot him when he comes into view.
Now, again, he has cover, so -2 on your attack.
17,
That'll hit.
8 damage.
That kills him. He drops to the ground.
Good news, guys, is that I still have all my turn undead.
Oh, good.
Thank goodness we saved that. We might need that later.
Yeah. In fact, the next wave of rules.
Right.
So why don't we call there? Actually, so Bart, our producer, if we have Q&A because it's like 5, we have like 5, 7, 8 minutes left. Is there any questions that came up? We can maybe tackle those. This seems like a good place to break.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, sorry, I thought maybe the combat would go to the end of the time, so I don't want to say, hey, we'll do Q&A, but then be like, oh, we're stopping the fight right in the middle. We might be.
Yeah, we did promise if we had a couple things come up. So
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and ask.
You might have to repeat because they might not be able to hear me. First one was action surge. That they
yeah.
term they hadn't heard of. before, so-
yeah.
Oh, action surge.
Repeat the
Yeah.
question or put the question in the answer somehow.
So what's action surge?
Action Surge is one of the new fighter mechanics that we're trying out, and it basically allows you to take another action and you get one until you take another rest.
Yeah, it's basically a short burst of energy, lets you take an extra action, but then
Yeah.
you have to recover it
Yeah.
by resting.
It's a 4E action point that you get back with a rest.
Yeah, exactly.
You get an extra action. And can you do anything you want with that action, or do you just use it to attack?
The fighters is an extra action.
Extra
yeah.
action, yeah.
Cool.
It's just whatever the fighter wants to do.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, from the DM side, I was like, I don't really know what character rules, what version we're using. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What else we got?
We also had cunning actions. If you
Yeah.
wanted to know what
Oh,
those were.
they haven't seen the
Yes.
cunning actions
So
of Rogue yet, have
this
they?
is one of my favorite things in the Rogue right now. So the question is, what is cunning action? I referenced it a few times. This is something that you will actually find in the thief scheme, or whatever we're calling them in this iteration. The thief version of the rogue. The cunning action is basically an extra action that the rogue can take every turn, but you can only use it to let's see, you can only use it to disengage, hide, hustle, or use an item. So basically, it lets you do sort of sneaky, tricky things every turn, not, just make a bunch of extra attacks. So I think I used it to get some extra movement a couple of times. I used it to hide from the plant creature once. And if I had actually made one of my saving throws against the paralysis, what I was going to use it for was to make my save with my action, use my movement to stand up, and then I could use my cunning action to disengage and basically get to safety. So it's basically a way of representing how tricky the rogue can be, specifically the thief.
Cool.
What other questions do we have? We can go a little over 2. We start a little
People
late.
were talking about the updated monk. It looked like the monk was different than the one that they've seen, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about anything about that.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback at the monk. I think the funniest piece of feedback I saw was about the monk, and its power level was, hey, now I know what it's like to play a character who gets killed a lot and isn't very effective, or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that's what we're trying for. Do you want to talk about the monk, James?
This monk is awesome. Well, my dice helped. We just sent this monk out to our alpha playtesters this
I
past
dropped
week.
one for you.
So it's pretty new. I have chosen the way of the open hand, so really I'm all about making unarmed attacks. But I wasn't really doing anything fancy except just making basically 2-weapon fighting with my unarmed attack. I could have spent some of my key focus to make extra attacks, but it never quite worked out that I needed to do that because I was often dealing the finishing blows with my 2.
Right,
and,
yeah.
And I felt weird to try to move to another one and make a third attack, or I had already moved or whatever. I've got a good armor class. I rolled awesome on my hit points, so I'm just an awesome character all around. And I have this magic crossbow.
All right. All right.
Actually, I rolled about its origin and special characteristics.
Nice. That's commitment to
was-
role-playing.
Yeah, it was created by an ancient Sul member of the Scarlet Brotherhood, who we regard as a hero, and the rest of the world regards as a terrible villain. It's my crossbow.
I don't brag about that crossbow.
So I noticed that you said we, even though you said you're ex Scarlet Brotherhood.
Is there something you're not telling us?
You're very recently ex Scarlet Brotherhood, obviously.
Yes.
Your alignment ends with a vowel.
No.
I think though the way the open hand is a lot like the traditional monk, basically,
Yeah.
because
It's a
the,
3E monk.
Yeah, it's very very much like the monk that we released previously, but you use the different key focus mechanic, which is
And beefed up a bit, too.
and beefed up, yeah, for sure.
And right now, part of the goal is just to get a sense of the feel for it, which
Yeah.
is why we sent it out to the alpha playtesters first. We're trying it internally
Yeah.
before we.
There are still some hitches in the mechanics.
See what else here. There was one point where Mike, you asked for a deck check from James, and they saw him roll 2 dice.
Wow, they can actually see that on the
Yeah.
cameras. Wait, what else could they see?
I have a class feature called expertise. Most people have a class feature called expertise.
Well, the two of us do because we're skill
Right.
classes.
So I could choose whether to either dexterity or wisdom. Whenever I make a check using that ability, I could roll a d6 and add it to the result.
Yeah, it's kind of where the skill die ended up. It's basically something to reflect the skillful classes basically get a bonus to a blanket bonus to an ability check.
All right, and I had it for dexterity, but I also have it for charisma because I'm a thief.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why I thought I would be able to sneak around and I'm going to be the bluffy guy. Although I did notice, I didn't want to interrupt the flow of play, but I actually do speak Goblin. I didn't just write that on my character sheet. I actually have it on there. So I would have been able to speak to them in Goblin. Unfortunate.
You rolled an 8, though.
My ruse was better than I thought it was, basically.
Well, the meat pies thing worked.
The meat
Yeah.
pie thing did work.
It did work that 20. They're like, oh, meat pies.
We've got one more.
Go.
People want to know, or some people want to know, if you were using the background rules to have the +10 area of knowledge proficiency.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you notice the original, at this very start of the adventure, when they were kind of gathering rumors, that's I think when those mainly came into play.
Yeah. Yeah, I used it on my cultural lore.
Yeah. And if you know the original adventure, you probably noticed I took some liberties with it. It's originally a tournament adventure, so I basically wanted to weave something a little more strategic, like, hey, this is a location, how do you want to enter? And added some more backstory to flesh it out a bit. So it's not strictly as written, to kind of give it a little bit of a twist. So anyone who's read it before at this table doesn't just get to breeze through.
To be a stickler, do you want to reread the legal? Because it has the D&D Next.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, okay, yeah. So thanks for joining us. This is the thing I read at the beginning. Do a reread. All right, so thanks for joining us for this playtest. You have seen members of the Wizards R&D team playtesting materials and rules from D&D Next. This is part of our playtest program, so by continuing to watch this or having watched this, you are consenting to the terms of Wizards' online playtest agreement, which you can view at www.dndnext.com. In addition, this game may have contained adult language, but I don't think anyone swore.
I slipped.
James.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Greg just couldn't stop, couldn't resist. And material not suitable for all ages. Actually, it's not suitable for 17-year-olds specifically.
Very specifically, 17.
16 and 18 are fine.
Viewer discretion was advised. It's probably too late now.
I love turning this into past tense. by the way. It's really working out well.
Well, thanks for joining us. It was
you.
fun rolling
Hopefully we'll be back
the dice with these
again
guys.
soon.
Yeah, and hopefully we can pick up this adventure later on. So.
Thank you.